The Shark Morning Show with Drew Kenyon. The new 94.3 The Shark. Everything that rocks.
Good morning, it's Drew Kenyon. This is The Shark Morning Show. Coming up on the big show today, a high school student's baking secret could be called 2 girls, 1 cupcake. Doing nude push-ups in traffic ends exactly the way you'd expect. A man is injured by a flying sex toy. A girl brings her parents along as she joins the Mile High Club. And, of course, I'll have your celebrity chum, your dumbass of the day. Now, we all know a story of an underdog overcoming some bullies is great to enjoy, but a California teen has taken bully prank revenge to the next level. The high school sophomore girl brought in cupcakes she baked herself and passed them out to kids who had been bullying her. But they soon realized something was up because the cupcakes were so disgusting, many of them spat them out. What kind of idiot bully accepts homemade food items from the person they're bullying in the first place? When asked what she put in the baked goods, "What the hell's in this?" she told them she added nature's secret ingredients: semen, pubic hair, expired food, and some other bodily fluids, including fecal matter. You can imagine how that went over. These cupcakes are so creamy. Hey, wait a minute, this cupcake tastes kind of salty. I would have been worried if my kid was the one that said, "Hey, this filling tastes like semen." Well, how do you know that? Police were promptly called to the school and were able to confirm that the cupcakes were made with a gross combination of condiments, including mayonnaise, barbecue sauce, and soy sauce. But the food was destroyed before it could actually be tested for semen. They're going to worry about that for the rest of their lives. The evidence was destroyed. I don't know. Should I believe her? I don't know what I just ate. And worry about it they are. Apparently, the thought of consuming a semen and poop cupcake was enough to keep one kid home with intense abdominal cramps and vomiting. Deservedly so to the bully. And the great thing about this kind of revenge is that you don't even need to actually add semen to the cupcakes. You just need to tell everyone that you did. But her mistake was that she should have made them taste delicious so that they ate every bite and came back for seconds. Using all those other funky ingredients like the bad food and everything else, that was her downfall. If she had just made them delicious and let them ooh and ah about how great it was, and then hit them with the, "Wow, you know what the secret ingredient is." Semen in cupcakes, huh? That girl's got a lot of spunk. Centennial High School has now implemented a no outside food policy, forcing the cancellation of a French class food day this week. Revenge is sweet and filled with protein. I give her an A+ in home ech. And a naked Portland, Oregon man who was reportedly running into traffic at 4 a.m. and had stopped in the middle of the road to do some push-ups was struck and killed by an oncoming vehicle. While police were being alerted of his running in traffic, a caller followed up to say he'd been hit. It looks like someone is going to miss leg day. Well, if you can't safely do naked push-ups in the middle of the road at 4 a.m., when is a good time to do naked push-ups in the middle of the road? I mean, really. Meth plus exercise never ends well. Actually, no word on whether the naked guy was on drugs or mentally ill or what. Portland is the home of the World Naked Bike Ride Day, so the actual number of fitness-obsessed, mentally ill nude people might be pretty high there, I would think. I guess eventually you just end up hitting one with your car.
It's time for Celebrity Chum on the new 94.3 The Shark.
Don't blame Jessica Alba for not showing us her glorious cans on the big screen. Blame her abuelo and abuela. In the June issue of Glamour magazine, Jessica explains why she won't do nude scenes. Quote, "I don't want my grandparents to see my boobs. That's it. It would be weird at Christmas. And I mean, really, if you look at the movies I've done, getting naked would never elevate the picture." End quote. I tend to disagree, Jessica. I think a little more nudity from you in your shower scene in Machete would have elevated something, if you know what I mean. Leonardo DiCaprio has just bought a $10 million green apartment. So now he gets to take vitamin C-infused showers with naked supermodels. He gets to breathe purified air and drink purified water with naked supermodels. He gets to bang supermodels with a circulated aromatherapy air supply, do it on posture-supportive heat reflexology flooring with supermodels, and see naked supermodels in a circadian lighting design that provides dawn simulation. He also gets his own wellness concierge, and he gets to bang supermodels. Did I mention that? The best man at a wedding was left battered and bloodied after he was hit in the head by a fast-moving sex toy. The flying phallus left Jury Skumavic nursing a split forehead. Mr. Skumavic said he was injured by the bullet-shaped pink sex toy measuring about 5 inches in length at a bachelor party. He was still sporting a scar on his forehead at the wedding nearly 3 weeks after being dinged by the artificial dong. Mr. Skumavic said he and about 9 friends rented a house for the party. A scantily clad exotic dancer appeared after a while and was soon performing her party trick, shooting sex toys at the guests from her privates. Who knew you could get such velocity? He said the pink projectile flew an impressive 20 feet across the room and looped at about 6 feet high. Good God. It wasn't a strong enough shot when it hit me in the head, he said. It probably just landed on an awkward sort of angle. I would imagine everything about that whole scenario is awkward. Quote, she was shooting it through the room from one corner to the other. Other people got it in their chest and knees. I was the only one bleeding. It was my turn and it landed straight on my forehead. She started apologizing, but I just said it was fine. Then I touched my forehead and there was blood. Good God. People keep asking me how close my face was to cause that sort of injury, he said. Yeah, that seems like the very first question I would ask. And the very last answer I would expect would be 20 feet across the room. Although I had my hair parted down the middle in a similar incident in Vegas in 1992. And this is pretty much every guy's fantasy when they're flying solo. And every father's nightmare. A British girl in her 20s was flying with her parents from London to Las Vegas last week on Virgin Atlantic, and she got drunk. Then she started talking to the random guys sitting next to her and her parents. And even though they just met, they decided to join the Mile High Club in the bathroom. That must have been an interesting conversation with mom and dad sitting right next to you. Witnesses said things got heated between the woman and the man who was sitting next to her parents en route to Vegas. So they headed into the bathroom. Excuse me, Dad, can I get by? Yeah, thanks. Pardon me, sir. I'm going to go with your daughter into the bathroom. And their cries of passion were so loud that the flight attendants had to go into the bathroom and break it up. Can't even have a little bit of courtesy for your folks sitting in aisle 12? Then the woman got into a loud argument with the flight attendants. How dare you stop me from boning this guy in the bathroom? So they ended up having to cuff her. I could just see the dad sitting in his seat with his head in his hands. Oh, my God. I don't know her. That must have been really awkward, like having to sit next to her parents for the rest of the flight. Did the guy, have to make small talk with them? Sorry for boning your daughter in the bathroom earlier. You can eat those peanuts? When the plane landed, the cops escorted her off. Fortunately, the Las Vegas police were pretty cool about the entire thing and just let her off with a warning. There's no word on how her parents felt about what went down, but we assume that they were thrilled. Cue the music of Daddy's Little Girl playing at the wedding. Good morning, it's Drew Kenyon, and it's time for your dumbass of the day.
Dumbass of the day.
It was just a freak accident, said an investigator, that caused the death of 43-year-old Gary Allen Banning. Gary was at a friend's apartment when he spotted a salsa jar containing a mystery fluid. Thinking that it was an alcoholic beverage, he helped himself to a sizable swig of gasoline. Turns out Gary's friend was a mechanic and kept the jar of gasoline near the kitchen sink to remove grease from his hands. Why on earth you would drink a fluid in a salsa jar is beyond me in the first place, but naturally enough, he immediately spit it out onto his clothes. Then to recover from the shock, Gary lit a cigarette. Firefighters responded to calls reporting a fire in the apartment and found a badly burned man sitting on a charred carpet. 2 mistakes caused his death. The first mistake was minor, gulping a golden liquid from a salsa jar. Although if you ask me, a jar of yellow liquid is best left sealed and not ingested. And one can usually assume that drinking its contents would not lead to combustion. But the second mistake, lighting up a cigarette to recover from the shock of taking a mouthful of gasoline, was a decision that an average 5-year-old would consider questionable. Seems like gasoline is effective at cleaning your hands and cleansing the gene pool.
Dumbass of the day. The Shark Morning Show with Drew Kenyon. The new 94.3 The Shark. Everything that rocks.
See ya!